Hi guys, welcome again to our webinar for this week. So before we start, I know all of you here are associates. So before we start, let's familiarize first with the chat box. So is this if you're able to attend last week Wednesday, because I was the one who talked about prospecting, inviting. So this will be our second part. So was promised, di ba sabi ko sa inyo that I'll be talking the next three fingers, okay? Because we were just focusing on prospecting inviting last Wednesday. So, sino ba dito yung naka-attend last week? Or wala ba? Okay, so let's make use of the chat box. So for those na may mga associate pa na hindi nakapasok sa webinar na to, please encourage them to join trainings because this is the only investment that you have to spend for just an hour that would increase their skills when it comes to closing, follow-up, no? When it comes to having more pay-ins. So sino ba yung gustong magkaroon ng maraming pay-ins dito? Sorry, can you hear me? Alright. Kasi walang sumasagot sa chat box. So parang ang hirap, no? Parang especially this time around that we are in the online world. So let's just interact to one another through the chat box, guys. Every time I ask you some questions, I would appreciate it much if you respond to the chat. Kasi para ang nangyari last time, mali pala yung screen na pinakita ko. For 10 minutes, I think I was talking about the hub para nagkamali. Hindi pala yung screen dapat yung pinakita ko sa inyo. So anyway, so our topic for tonight, so by the way, I'm Prince Villegas, so it's in the poster. So I'm part of Next Gen Trailblazer. So sino dito yung gustong mag-rank advance? Sino dito gusto mag-hit ng Platinum Pay Setter? Sino dito gustong mag-run ng Top Apprentice? Okay? Elite Circle, okay, this is the best training for you guys because most of us would want to have more pay-ins. Of course, who doesn't want, di ba? But the question is, paano ka magkaroon ng pay-in if in the first place you don't know how to close the meeting? Ibig sabihin ng closing and follow-up. Later we'll talk about that. Kasi akala kasi natin, most pay-ins would be closed na parang, overnight. Parang, sige, I have to talk to the person. Tapos, minsan may nangyayaring ganito, no? I encounter this a lot to even some of my associates. Coach, parang negative eh. Parang hindi naman interested. Parang hindi naman interested. Kaya lang, these are the statements na nag-presume ka na agad. Nag-assume ka na agad na hindi mag-join yung tao. Nawalan ka na ng pag-asa. So dahil sa mga statement na gano'n, nakalimutan mo, meron palang dapat na gawing follow-up. So we'll talk about that later. So this is just a 1-hour discussion. So as much as possible, I want to make it brief and concise. So, by the way, hindi naman lahat ng trainings nandito talaga sa topic na to. No? So, if you're more interested to learn about closing, follow-up, ABC, madami naman sa YouTube. You can watch YouTube. I really encourage you to explore. Not just focus on the trainings na nakukuha mo dito, but also if you need to enhance your skills, you have to explore other available trainings for you guys, especially in YouTube. Ang dami dyan. So anyway, we'll start with ABC rule. Ano ba ito ABC? So, di ba we've talked about the prospecting inviting last time. Now let's talk about ABC. Okay? So ano bang ibig sabihin ng ABC? So for the first timers, so I want to lay it down to you. Anong ibig sabihin ng ABC? So ABC rule. Bakit may rule? Kasi ganito yan. Most cases of hindi nag-pay in. Okay, most cases of yung mga hindi nag-pay in ng mga associate. Pero biglang nag-pay in sa iba. Pero alam niyo yun, parang may mga associate na 2 years na napresentahan many times pero hindi nag-pay in pero biglang nag-pay in after 6 months. Gets nyo? Actually, minsan kasi, minsan kasi, yung ginagamit natin yung reason na maybe not yet the right time. Pero nakalimutan natin, maybe may nagawa kang mali sa sistema. Kasi, ito yon. Kailangan mong i-follow yung ABC rule. Ano ibig sabihin ng yung ABC rule? Ito yun. Make sure, A means advisor, bridge, client. So, ang mangyayari, si advisor, siya yung magpe-present. Hindi ikaw What will happen is, ikaw yung bridge para sa client mo. Okay? So, ano ibig sabihin nito? You have to make your client, okay, to listen to the presentation. Parang, it's your responsibility to build that respect. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin sa client mo, hey friend, ito pala yung upline ko. Siya yung mag-represent. O kayo na bahala dyan. It's a no. So yung goal mo dito is to edify. Okay, number 1. ABC your mentor or presenter when you are still far away from your what? From him or from the person who will present or who will talk about the training. Okay. Guys, ABC is not just for presentations, but I'll be more focused on the presentation. So do not do ABC. Do not edify the presenter face to face. Kung pwede, i-edify mo siya. Okay, an hour. Let's say parang hindi mo pa na-meet yung presenter mo. Papunta pa lang si mentor, si upline. Dapat, while nagtutalk kayo sa client mo, ine-edify mo. Okay. For the online presentation case, okay, kasi ito yung mga face-to-face, diba? Yung edification. Paano mo ngayon i-edify yung presenter? For example, mayroon tayong online business talk. Tapos, nag-post ka sa Facebook na, hey, who's interested for an online business? Dropshipping. Okay. Yan, nag-usap na kayo. So, ano gagawin mo? I-edify mo yung presenter. Friend, alam mo ba, yung magtutalk mamaya, very special to sa akin. Wow. Mentor ko to. For example, ganun lang mentor ko to. Ito yung background niya. Sobrang ganyan. Huwag naman masyadong exaggerated, no? Pero, make sure na huwag naman masyadong mayabang. Parang, alam mo, ang dami kong natutunan sa kanya. Ganyan. Paano mo i-edify yung tao? Do not just edify on the achievements. Kasi may mga, ito mali sa atin Ito sample, guess. Okay. Paano ba mag-edify ng online business talk? Or, yan. Friend, yung speaker namin, speaker later. Yan. Ito yung, wag mo lang sabihin sa kanya na, ang laki ng kita niya nito, friend. Parang, masyado naman. Okay, hindi pwede yan. It's a no-no. Kasi di mo naman alam ano ba talagang gusto ng client in the first place. So, doon ka lang muna sa, you talk about the behavior, you also talk about the attitude, paano niya nagawa yung maging successful sa business na to. Yan. Tapos, for more question, friend, later, you can ask question later after the talk. Ganon. So, during presentation, the do's and don'ts, okay? Guys, kahit online yan, guys, no? Bigyan kita ng Minsan kasi, yung friend mo, na guest mo, okay? Or even a stranger, kung ikaw yung nag-invite, dapat nandun ka din. Ang mas malala kasi ngayon, online na nga, wala pa yung nag-invite. Di ba? Pwede ka namang sumali. Pwede pa namang, guys, may mga concerns tayo like, coach, wala ka akong load, wala akong data. Yung mga ganon. Parang, kayo na lang mag-usap sa guest ko. Alam mo, paano ka matuto nito kung ikaw mismo hindi ka mag-i-invest sa data? Guys, how much is your data? Bigyan kita ng idea, no? 50 pesos sa Globe, that's 5 gigabytes already. That's 5 gigabytes for 3 days, 50 pesos. Ito yon. Ilang gig ba pwede ma-consume sa isang 1-hour talk? It's just less than 500 MB. Ay, tama ba? MB, 0.5 gig. Okay. Hindi mauubos yung 5 gig mo. That's why you have to invest. Anong na-save mo when you do online talk? Wala ka namang nagastos na snacks. Tama ba? Hindi naman kayo nag-coffee. Di ba? Alam nyo, mas magastos dati. Kasi every time we talk to our client, andun sa restaurant, andun sa coffee shop, alam mo yun, parang, of course, we wanted to please, no, our first impression, no, our prospects, our guests. Minsan, most of the time, nilibre mo sila ng kape, nilibre mo ng, yung mga ganon. Now, here in online, wala na yon. So, meaning, nakatipid ka nun. That's why, what is 50 pesos to invest on online data? Tama. Now, another thing, ito yung mga nangyayari kasi walang data kaya hindi nakaka-join. So that's why you have to what? Join with the guest. Coach, busy kasi ako, coach eh. Guys, ganito yan. Kahit nagluluto ka pa dyan, pwede ka namang sumali sa group, group sa online talk. Huwag ka lang i-mute mo lang yung sarili mo. At saka i-hide mo lang muna yung yung camera mo. At least nakikita niya na nandun ka. So anong role mo ngayon? While nakikinig siya, sa chat mo siya, friend, thank you for joining. I'll be much willing to help you in this if magugustuhan mo. Ganun. Kasi ang nangyayari, pag iniiwan mo yung guest mo sa online business talk, tapos wala ka, mataas yung chance na hindi siya makinig. Secondly, pwede siya mag-leave sa Zoom. Tapos, tatanungin mo yung presenter, Coach, kumusta yung guest ko kanina? So, meaning, hindi ka nakinig. Nagets nyo? Kahit yun lang, guys. No, listen and learn. Number 2, focus on how the presentation is done. Guys, ito ha, iba-iba kasi yung presenters, tama. May mga strength every presenter. Okay, may mga strength every presenter. Kunin mo yung mga striking statements na pwede mo magamit sa online talk mo. Pag ikaw na ang magto-talk sa guest mo later on, pag marunong ka na. So your goal here is, especially if you're new, your goal here is not just to have pay-ins, but your goal is also to learn. Hindi pwede kasi mo yumaman sa iyo sana na hindi ka marunong mag-present din. Tama? Hindi ka pwedeng mag-rank advance na, alam mo, parang hindi ka marunong mag-closing. Gets nyo? Number 3, take notes. Okay? Number 4, help refocus your guest when distracted. Okay? So, pag yung guest mo, ito kasi happens only during face-to-face. Kaya lang sa online, make sure, sabihan mo na yung guest mo na, friend, okay lang ba na set aside mo na other things. Let's focus on the learnings for just 30 to 1 hour of your time. So ganon. Okay, friend. Kasi gusto kong ayokong masayang yung opportunity na pwedeng mong gawin pala. Ayan. So number 5, eat before the presentation. Okay. That's the face-to-face. Especially now that pwede na tayo mag face-to-face na kung alam mo naman yung guest mo walang COVID, okay? Or relative mo. So yun. So make sure, wag yung, friend, kita tayo, kain tayo. During kainan kayo magpe-present. Hindi pwede yun. Dapat eat muna kayo, tapos after eating, tsaka present. Okay? Don't, okay? Number 1, do not leave your client. Number 2, do not text or call. Okay? Every time, guys, if your video is on, make sure nakafocus ka sa video, nakikinig ka, nakikita ng client mo na ikaw mismo. Okay? Very critical to, especially online. Mas maganda kung makinig ka lang. Tapos, nod ka lang. Ipakita mo lang yung video mo. Guys, i-turn on mo yung video mo. Okay. Nod. So, every time may magpe-present, magna-nod ka. Alam mo yung video mo kasi, makikita ng guest mo. Gets nyo? So, can I challenge you guys here? Turn on your videos, everyone. Hello? Parang naka-mute, naka-off yung mga camera. Okay. Now, let's practice this, yung parang ganyan. So, konti lang nag-turn on ng video. So, anong gagawin nyo? Try to nod and smile. Ganyan. So, hindi pwede ganyan na. Guys, ito nakikita kayo ng guest nyo. Okay. Sa online business talk. Hindi pwede na ganyan. Dapat naka-smile pa rin kayo. Can we smile? O, di ba? Tingnan mo sa webinar as yung mga naka-smile. Di ba? Parang, tingnan mo isipin mo guest ka. Tapos yung nasa camera, ibang cameras, isipin mo sila yung nag-invite sa'yo. Ano mafe-feel mo? Naka-turn on yung video na nag-invite sa'yo, naka-smile. Nagets nyo? Makukuha niyo yung energy mo at the same time. Kasi sa chat-chat mo lang, friend, sobrang ganda, no? Pakinggan mo lang talaga, I'll be with you here. Yes. So while nagtatalk, you can do chatting. Kasi makikita mo yung engagement niya. Nagets nyo? Kasi baka nagtutalk na yan, yung speaker, pero sinachat mo, hindi nagre-reply, meaning hindi engaged yung tao. Hindi nakikinig. Okay? That's why I encourage you guys, if you are on a online presentation, ako especially when I have a guest, pinapa-turn on ko talaga yung video. Yeah. So that's why you be ready then. You make sure that you have a good background. Wag naman yung background na parang alam niyo naman, di ba? May nakikita kayo sa Zoom na iba-ibang background, nasa kitchen, alam mo yun, parang wag naman yung ganun. Find a location na mas magandang location, or kung wala talaga kayo makitang magandang location, gumawa na lang kayo ng green screen. Ay, green screen ba yun? Parang backdrop. Yan. Parang ginawa ko ito. Yan, diba? Ganyan. So, pwede kayong gumawa niyan. Kaya lang, hindi siya pwedeng gawin sa cellphone. Sa laptop siya. So, mag-download kayo na anong gusto nyo background. Ayan. So, pwede nyo nang, gawin to. So, anyway, yan. So, yan yung ABC rule. Bakit kailangan ng ABC? Bakit nauna si ABC sa closing? Kasi ito yun. Critical kasi si ABC. Pag hindi mo na-edify yung talk, yung training, yung guest, hindi makikinig ng maayos. Gets nyo? Yung guest, hindi makikinig ng maayos. So, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng ABC? Kailangan ba i-edify lang yung tao? Hindi. Kahit anong events, whether it's a bridge event, whether it's a online business talk, kahit sa mga bagong associate nyo din. Example, may bago kang associate na 1 week pa lang. kailangan mo i-edify din sa kanila yung training. Yung tao na magaling mag-edify, sila yung mas mataas na chance na makapagpa-pay in ng madami. Di ba yun? So, closing. Let's go to closing. Okay. And I'll share, pwede niya i-screenshot to. Okay. Pero this is the best. Ito lang, madali lang kasi yung closing ko eh. Yan. Wala pala akong. Mamaya, we have another slide for this. I-share ko lang to. So ano ba yung goal ng closing? Ano ba yung objective mo sa closing? So after mo ma-edify si speaker sa client, ngayon nakinig na siya. Ano ba yung role mo? Si speaker ba yung dapat mag-closing or ikaw? Sige, sagot guys. May prize daw makakasagot. Sino dapat ang mag-closing sa guest? Ang speaker ba or ikaw? Okay, sino dapat? Yung, ayan. Sana yung iba? Let's be interactive, guys. So, sino? Guys, do not, ito ha, minsan kasi nangyayari, magaling to, si Coach Prince mag-present. Ganyan, sample lang. Hindi naman masyado. Pero sample lang. Okay, ito si Coach Prince mag-present. Kaya niya magpa-pay in. Guys, ito, hindi naman ako yung magpapa-pay in sa guest niyo eh. Kasi right after the talk, ito ha, right after the talk, may mga doubts pa rin yan inside that I cannot even answer. Tama? Kasi, hindi naman ako yung personal friend or personal na nag-invite sa guest nyo. So, anong role nyo? Anong role nyo? Ito yung closing. Role nyo to. At saka follow-up. Sige. Let's all read. The goal of the closing is to lead to a decision. Okay? And the key here is what? Urgency. Guys, when you do closing, wag yung, friend, mag-join ka na ba? parang, siya naman, pag-isipan ko muna. Bakit ayaw mo? Hindi pwede ganun ha. You have to, ganito. First is, you talk to the person. Personal closing mo. Communicate with the person. Friend, how was it? Ganun. Friend, I'm so I'm grateful that naka-join ka ngayon ng webinar and I hope na marami kang natutunan. So, ganyan. Communicate your story to your prospect as well. Alam mo, dati, yan. You share your story. Alam mo, dati, napresentan ako nung napresentan ako ng USANA, akala ko it's too good to be true. Pero na-realize ko, ang dami na palang kumikita dito. Diba ganyan? You share your story. But of course, your story of success, hindi yung story of failure mo. Hindi pwedeng, alam mo friend, until now, di ko ba din alam bakit ako nasa USANA. parang addict, parang nagsishare ka ng story mo na parang, wait, ano bang goal mo? Bakit mo kakausapin siya? Yung goal mo naman talaga is para maka-pay in siya. Tama ba? Hindi yung i-share mo yung emotions mo na masyado alam mo yung parang, guys, you have also to learn, no, na itong business na to, yung mga prospect, yung client nyo, hindi niya kailangan marinig yung nahihirapan ka. Nagets nyo? Alam mo, friend, share mo pa yung, alam mo, sobrang struggle ako during my first 3 months sa business. Tapos, buti na lang, ayan. Pero, guys, huwag mo lang i-share yung struggles mo. Hindi niya kailangan yun. Baka isipin ng prospect mo, ay, ganun pala. Baka mag-struggle din ako. Alam mo yun? Kasi iba-iba naman tayo ng challenges. Tama? Malay mo, yung friend mo pala, hindi niya struggle yung struggle mo. Nagets nyo? Huwag masyadong emotional. Okay. when you communicate your story. You communicate your story, yung goal mo is para magkaroon siya ng idea bakit niya gagawin si Yusana. Nagets nyo? Okay, closing is basically storytelling. Alam mo, friend, dati, yeah, you can share your story. Ilang taon ka na ba ngayon nag-work? 10 years. So far, may na-save ba tayo? Wala nga eh. Na-realize ko nga. Alam mo, sobrang natuwa ako sa speaker kanina. Share mo yung, na-realize ko nga din yun eh. Kasi I've been working for 20 years pero walang nangyari sa buhay ko. Kung wala akong gagawin na bago, maybe andun pa rin ako, na-stuck pa rin. So you can share your story. Okay. So ito yun. These are the critical questions. Okay. Can we all read this? Yung pinakita ko dito, so yung red. 3 hidden objections that need to be answered during conversation. Okay. Number 1, is it real? Minsan, yung guest mo, most of the time, yung guest mo would have this thought inside them, pero hindi niya sasabihin sa'yo to. Hindi niya itatanong sa'yo. Deep down inside him, magtatanong yan, totoo ba tayo talaga to? Hindi naman niya sasabihin yan sa'yo. Kaya ko ba to? Ganyan. Can I do this? Tutulungan ba ako talaga nitong tao na to? He will not ask you, will you help me? He will not ask you that. But these are the questions na most probably kung masagot mo, kahit di niya tinanong, okay, ma-address mo, pwede siya mag-pay in 100% sa'yo. Okay, paano? Paano sagutin? I think marunong na kayo, no? Hindi ko na i-share paano sagutin. Gusto niyo ba paano sagutin? Malaman? Parang gusto lang, parang wala. Sige, proceed. Okay. Okay, paano ba sagutin? Is this real? Guys, wag niyo sabihin, wag niyo sabihin sa prospect niya, alam ko you're thinking, is it real? Hindi ka okay. Yung mga, you can share a story. Alam mo ba, friend? Dati, akala ko talaga hype lang si Yusan. Alam mo, nung nag-training na ako, sobrang ganda pala talaga ng product. At saka, siya yung story of recovery. Alam mo yun, parang he share some testimony sa product and also share some testimony sa business. Alam ko, kahit bago pa na ako dito, pero sobrang hopeful ako. Kasi bakit? May nakikita nga akong tao na lumpo, pero ngayon kumikita ng 200,000. Anong meron siya na wala ako? Yan. Well, storytelling. Alam mo, totoo talaga. Kasi pumapasok talaga siya sa bank account yung dollar. Talaga, friend? Yes. Yan. Can I do this? Wag yung baka isusulat nyo to. Alam ko, iniisip mo kung kaya mo ba to. Pwede naman, pero in a creative way. Alam mo, friend, dati, di ba, ano ka ba? Nurse ka. Tapos ako, engineer. Sample lang yan Sino bang mas papaniwalaan ng tao? Ikaw o ako? Yan. Tapos, kung ako ba o ikaw? So, ako. Di ba? Kasi nurse siya. Sample, ganyan. Di ba? Kung kaya ko nga, mas kaya mo to. Nga ganyan. Gets, no? Or, ano ba yung mga scripts? Ano ba yung mga can I do this? Sample. Yung friend mo magaling naman magsalita. Alam niya na mahiyain ka. Alam mo, friend, alam mo naman na mahiyain ako sa college. Pero alam mo, what made me decide to do this business? Hindi naman dahil sa what made me do this is gusto ko talaga mabago yung buhay ko. Yan, share mo lang. Now, I'm in the business for 6 months or 3 months. Ang laki na ng progress na nangyari sa buhay ko. And I think kung kaya ko, kaya mo rin. Yung mga ganyan, kung kaya nga ng isang lumpo, kung kaya nga ng isang, alam mo yun, isang senior citizen, 60 years old na gold director. Alam mo, friend, may mga challenges dito, yes. Pero madali lang harapin yung challenges basta nag-attend tayo ng training. But I'll be here to back you up. Yan, doon nga nasa, will you help me? And I'll be here to back you up. Alam mo, friend, yung team natin, naka-prepare na yan ng mga trainings and online talks para sa guest mo. Anong gagawin mo, friend? Hindi ikaw muna yung magtutok sa mga guest mo, kami muna. Tuturuan ka namin paano mag-invite. Like how I invited you. Ayan. So, tuturuan ka namin paano mag-invite. Tapos, once marunong ka na, pwede ka na rin ikaw na mag-training sa mga associate mo. Pero later na yon. So, while nasa training ka pa. So, yun. So, don't worry, friend. Free yung mga trainings natin dito. May mga iba na may bayad, pero 90% are free. Okay. Gets nyo? So, I'll be here to support you. Guys, be sincere in that. So, kung sasabihin mo, support talaga siya. Okay? Especially yung mga guests nyo. Yan. So, ngayon, paano ba mag-closing? Yan. So, ito wag ka magtanong ng open-ended question na pwede siya magsabi sa'yo na hindi ako interested. Okay, agad. Hindi mo na. Ito yon. Friend, ano bang gusto mo sa presentation? Product or business? Tanungin mo yan. Yan mo na. Ito yung flow. Okay? Anong gusto mo? Product or business? Pag sasagutin niya, product. Okay. Baka, you can lead that, okay, to a question na, okay, may mga health concern ba ang family? Ganyan. Oo talaga. Yan. Alam mo, friend, yan. Pwede mo lang ipasok mo na siya na, alam mo, friend, sa'yo sana, kahit mag-join ka kung anong packages yan, automatic ka members price. Ako, na nag-invite sa'yo, wala akong makakuha ni piso sa'yo. Wala tayong direct referral fee dito. Okay. So, yan. Or kung sasabihin naman niya na business. Okay. Sabihin niya na, actually gusto ko yung business eh. Naghahanap ako ng Yan. So, nakinig siya. Now, if given a chance to start, anong gusto mo? Yung 1 business center or 3 business center? Ano ba yung 1 business center? Yung yung 20,000 na isang business center lang, yung 27, or yung 46,000? Alam mo sagot niyan, mostly, actually gusto ko yung 3 business center. Kaya lang, wala akong pera pa ngayon eh. Yan, may mga objections. So, paano ba i-handle yung mga ganito? Closing. So, bago yan, friend, paano mo ba i-settle yan pag mag-join ka? Cash or credit card? So, sasagutin, wala akong credit card, friend. Sige, cash na lang tayo. Ha? Okay. Friend, tulungan kita. Magkano ba kaya mo to start this business? Yan. You can open that. Kasi may mga tao talaga na, balay mo, 10,000 lang yung pera talaga niya. Yan. Alam mo, friend, ganun lang din. I know what you feel. So, felt, and found. So, wag yung, wala ka pera? Hindi na, alam mo ba, guys, 99% of employees don't have savings. Nagets nyo? Ako nga, manager ako ng bangko, ng BPI before. Okay? When I joined USANA, na-realize ko, wala ka pala akong pera. Buti na lang may credit card ako. Alam mo yung ganun. So, eto, I know what you feel. I felt the same way. Wag naman ganito pero what I found out, yan. Share experience. Alam mo, marami sa USANA, associate and successful, wala naman pera to begin with. Hindi naman pera yung way lang para maging successful tayo. Alam mo, meron paraan. Nagets no? Alam mo na, I was also on that same boat before. Tama. Nangungutang nga tayo ng appliances, sala set, TV. Wala namang balik sa atin. Bakit di natin pwedeng mangutang para sa business na pwedeng malaki yung balik sa atin? Nagets nyo? That's how you do the handle it during closing. Sa closing kasi, may mga objections dyan. Okay. So kailangan mong, huwag ka naman masyadong don't sound so mayabang. Okay, don't sound so mayabang. Be humble pa rin. Your goal is to help the person. Huwag naman kayo maghinaan ng loob kung walang pera yung tao. Because to begin with, ito most people who do the business seriously, okay, 80% who are so successful in the Usana business started with utang. Halos lahat. Yung staff ko na si Jude Seroje, now an executive Ruby director, earning $500,000 a month in Cebu. Walang pera sa bank account. May credit card siya na 20,000 that time na hindi pwede magamit kasi max out. So wala siyang choice, nangutang talaga siya. Sabi niya sa akin, Sir Prince, kung hindi ako mag-decide ngayon, lala't lalala yung utang ko. Kasi siya nagpapaalam sa mga kapatid niya back in Bohol. So nangyari, nangutang siya, within 30 days, dinispose yung product lahat. Guys, ito lang yung dinispose yung product lahat. No, ngayon, he's earning $500,000 a month. Nabayaran niya in 30 days yung inutang niya. Nagets nyo? Think like, in your sana business, think like you invested millions here. Isipin mo nag-invest ka ng Jollibee. Isipin mo nag-invest ka ng parang 1 million sa isang business. Alam mo yan, di ba, pag mag-invest ka ng business ng ganun, gagawin mo lahat ng paraan paano magkaroon ng sales. Tama ba? Ganun dapat yung treatment mo sa iyo sana. Okay, yun pala. Yung, for you to guys lang, hindi para sa prospect. Yan. So show your plan. Friend, ito yung plan ko. Actually, marami akong mga kakausapin. Ito sila lahat. Marami akong mga kausapin. Kung mauna ka, yan. Kung mauna ka, ilalagay ko dito sila sa'yo. Saka build up the market. Alam mo ba, friend? Hindi naman yan totoo talaga yung saturation eh. Kasi wala naman talagang saturation. Tama? Kasi every year may graduates. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of fresh grads. Anong trabaho nila? Saan sila papunta? Nag-automate na lahat ng businesses. Walang empleyado. So saan sila pupunta? Mag-call center or mag-Usana. Kung ano? Yan. So, smart timing, positioning, i-share nyo yun sa kanila, guys. So, nawala yung slides ko sa phone. So, may natutunan naman, guys, so far. Yan, marami sino ditong okay. Let's have a consensus here in our group. Sino ba dito ng utang? Ako na. Okay, actually, utang talaga ako. I started with utang. So you can chat here, guys.
This is the workroom of Dr. Myron Wentz. Like any good workman, the internationally recognized microbiologist, immunologist, and founder of USANA Health Sciences surrounds himself with the finest instruments. The most important one, the instrument he's been using for 40 years to help construct his dream of a world free from pain and suffering, one free from disease, is both under his microscope and inside of him. The instrument, the cell.
The cell is the basic unit of life. It's miraculous in all the things that it does. Over the years, to observe microscopically and macroscopically what the cells are able to do, it's a miracle.
The cell wasn't always Dr. Wentz's instrument of choice. Until college, there was music and the trumpet. Had things gone differently, maybe his toolbox would have been stocked with 8th and 16th notes, his workbench a music stand.
I had a love and passion for music as well as science. It was a hard decision, but yet I knew that my purpose in life was to use my talents to do what I could do to influence the longevity, the health, and the happiness of people. Based on what I saw, degenerative disease, due to my family, my parents, my brothers, aunts, I knew what I needed to do in life. There was no question that it was going to be pursuing the course of making a contribution in the life sciences.
He'd always been good at science, but aptitude had found purpose, and out of that union, Dr. Myron Wentz, expert on the cell, was born. The doctor was officially added when Wentz received a PhD in microbiology with a specialty in immunology. After a tenure as the director of microbiology for hospitals in Illinois, Dr. Wentz moved to Salt Lake City, Utah, and founded Go Labs. For 20 years, he pioneered the development of cutting-edge medical test kits, including the first FDA-approved commercially available test for Epstein-Barr virus.
I think one of the most important discoveries we made in the lab, in the human cell culture, was that if we grew cells in a way in which we provided them with all the essential nutrients, in the right form, in the right balance, and protected those cells from toxic substances, that those cells, the very cells that make up our body, they remained healthy and free from degeneration for decades.
This lesson was important for Dr. Wentz, and he pondered how best he could use his expertise in cellular nutrition to promote health.
I remember that fateful day when I became aware of what was available, what was being provided in the form of nutritional supplements for humans to augment nutrition to their body. And when I realized how inadequate it was compared to the kind of nutrition that we were supplying to ourselves in culture in the laboratory, that I knew something had to be done, that I needed to do something. And I guess that was the birth of USANA.
Founded in 1992, USANA, which is derived from Greek and Latin and means true health, manufactures state-of-the-art nutritional supplements based on solid science and developed to provide nutrition and protection at the cellular level. Cellular nutrition, Dr. Wentz believes, is the key to health and longevity. Over the next decade, he worked in the lab and in the boardroom to build USANA into an industry leader. Wentz's focus on science begat partnerships with respected research centers around the world. One of the most fruitful relationships is with the acclaimed Linus Pauling Institute at Oregon State University.
I'm very excited about this partnership because we are talking the same language, we have the same goals and the same mission, and to help each other achieve that mission, I think, is very exciting for all of us.
with my belief that nutrition is so important and is the answer to preserving and maintaining health, that nutritional supplements had to be the absolute best that they could be. They had to pass the tests of bioavailability, of purity, of being in the right form, in the right concentration and ratio. Nothing could be sacrificed in developing and creating, manufacturing these products. And that's been the basis of USANA. We maximize and not diminish the power of the cell.
In 1998, Dr. Wentz founded another means of spreading health to the world, the Sonovive Medical Institute. This cutting-edge medical facility combines state-of-the-art medicine with a holistic approach to healing, which empowers the cell's own healing processes. Experienced, internationally trained physicians, nutritionists, psychologists, and fitness experts are committed to treating the mind, body, and soul. As a young man, Wentz had set out on a mission to improve health through the life sciences. By now, countless people across the globe had felt the lasting benefits of his work. In June 2007, he was presented the Albert Einstein Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Life Sciences.
The Albert Einstein Award was a great honor for a great man. You know, I've worked with other world-renowned scientists like Dr. Jonas Salk, as well as world-class athletes, Apollo astronauts, and countless Fortune 500 top executives. However, Dr. Myron Wentz may be the most impressive person that I've ever met in my life's journey.
This success in science and business has allowed Dr. Wentz to help people lead healthier lives using another instrument, humanitarian aid. Since 2000, he has been involved with Children's Hunger Fund, traveling to impoverished and war-torn areas in Central America, Eastern Europe, and East Africa, making personal financial contributions and turning USANA into a donation engine, generating over $9 million to date to help CHF provide meals to malnourished children.
Taste it. The most important thing that I could give to these children is good nutrition.
A 2004 visit to northern Uganda deeply impacted Dr. Wentz. On the trip, he spent time walking through refugee camps and saw firsthand the disease and malnutrition that was a reality for thousands of children in the area.
We flew over these refugee camps and then landed on a makeshift airstrip and was in the midst of this human misery, seeing the quality of life of those families of men, women, and children and what they were being subjected to. I knew I had to do something. However small, I knew I had to do something.
The Wentz Medical Center in Gaba, Uganda, opened its doors in August 2005. The Wentz-funded center serves a community of 300,000 people using state-of-the-art medical and diagnostic equipment, not just paid for, but hand-picked by Dr. Wentz himself.
The relationship with Dr. Wentz has developed into a very special friendship. I have so grown to appreciate the love and passion that he has. His vision is to eliminate pain and suffering in this world, and it's